A Complete Unknown. It's the new Bob Dylan, Timothy Chalamet biopic film that is going to be coming out, and a trailer just dropped today. And so I'm going to do a reaction to it. Let's get right into it.
You tramped all the way from Minnesota. Why is that?
I wanted to catch a spark.
If you're traveling in the North Country Fair,
I just say no one wants to hear what a kid wrote last month.
Well, I like your songs.
where the winds hit heavy on the borderline.
I like this aesthetic.
Who
a
wrote
lot.
this? He did.
Remember me. How about that Joan Baez, folks?
But she's pretty. Sings pretty. Maybe a little too pretty. Your songs are like an oil painting at the dentist's office.
You're kind of an asshole, Bob.
If you go with snowflake storm, where the rivers freeze and summer ends.
For anyone who's gonna hold your attention on stage, you have to kind of be a freak.
Yeah, you can be beautiful or you can be ugly, but you can't be plain.
To keep her from the howling winds.
When's the new album out?
Soon. 200 people in that room, and each one wants me to be somebody else. And they should just let me be.
Let you be what?
Whatever it is they don't want me to be.
I hear Bob is playing electric.
Not on our stage, he isn't.
Once upon a time, you're just so fine.
They just want me singing Blowing in the Wind for the rest of my goddamn life.
Then you
Well, this is gonna piss some people off.
people come.
You came here with nothing but a guitar. You never talk about your family, your past.
People make up their past, Sylvie. They remember what they want. They forget the rest.
I want to know which side he's on.
I'm not sure they want to hear what I want to play, Johnny.
I want to hear it.
How does it feel?
Turn it down! Play it loud. Make some noise, BD.
To have you on your own, like a complete unknown, like a rolling stone.
Oh, heck yeah. First impressions, I love the aesthetic of this film. I love the grungy 60s vibe. I think it's a really cool look. I love the really harsh shadows. I like everything about this. Timothy Chalamet, hearing more of the music than when we initially did the reaction to the teaser, hear a lot more music, hear a lot more of his characterization of Bob Dylan. Gotta say, I haven't listened to like a lot of tapes or anything of hearing Bob Dylan talk, but I gotta say, I like the character he's doing. I think it's very interesting. It's very alluring. It pulls you in. It makes you lean in, and I think it makes you have a fun feeling, right, of crafting out the character. So to break it down a little bit, they talked some about, Bob wants to play electric in this trailer. And I didn't know a lot about Bob Dylan. When I saw that this film was coming out, I started doing a little bit of casual reading online about Bob Dylan, listening to a few of his songs. And from what I understand, he was extremely controversial in the rock and roll scene that was being broken, when the Beatles were coming out and everything, because he started as a younger guy who was writing songs about these deep stories about, lost love and all this stuff. And people weren't really digging it, if you might say, because he was like 19, 20 years old when he's talking about all these life experience songs, but not being old enough to have had those life experiences, or it being like a reasonable story that he's telling. But they really liked his singing. They really liked his music that he was writing. So he's very skilled at writing. But what was interesting is that he put his career and his fame in jeopardy like multiple times, because this idea of going electric, it's basically diving into the electric scene, into the rock and roll scene, and steering away from kind of just the straight, acoustic guitar kind of picking folk scene. And so that's going to be kind of like the controversy, I believe, that they're harnessing this entire story on. It's going to be where you're going to have the setup and then you have the confrontation. It's going to revolve a lot around Timothy Chalamet's Bob Dylan, his character, wanting to evolve, wanting to sing new songs, try new things. And there's going to be a lot of fans, or there's going to be like records, labels and everything that doesn't want that to happen. So really into the performance of Timothy Chalamet. This is actually, honestly, might be more interesting of a performance than I've seen him do in any other film that I've seen him. And I've seen most of his films. I've seen him in Dune Part 1 and 2. I've seen him in actually Bones and All. I did watch that movie. Didn't care for it, but I watched it. Watched him in Little Women, watched him in Willy Wonka. I've been keeping up with him since he's coming new on the scene. So I've seen his movies, and just from the trailer, this seems like the most interesting character I've seen him perform so far. What was that one Wes Anderson film he did? The French Dispatch. I saw him in that. So I'm curious. I'm excited, and I'm very much engaged. I'm intrigued with this trailer. Do me a favor, like this video if you enjoyed the commentary, if you enjoyed the reaction, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you are digging the vibe of this, the aesthetic, the cinematography, the performance, if you are a big fan of Bob Dylan, what are you thinking about this biopic, modern storytelling version of the Bob Dylan story? I'd love to hear your thoughts and love to engage with you in the comments. So leave it down there. We'll see you in the next reaction.